got a number of videos on my phone that I have recorded that I cannot remember, and I cannot blame marijuana for that either. I'm here in Thailand where marijuana is legal. I smoked a little bit of it. More recently, I've made a policy where I can't smoke it in my apartment here, in my condo here, because I don't want it to smell here. I don't want to decrease the value of any place that I stay. I want to keep it the same, or ideally increase it somehow. Bring a little bit more value to the places that I've been. Isn't that the old ideal of leaving places a little bit better than you found them? Is it even possible? I hope so. Anyway, I've been reflecting a lot here, drinking and thinking. I'm certainly not as sober as I've been in other countries. This isn't Malaysia. When in Rome, Chang beer and Thai weed, but no Thai weed today. I wasn't able to secure a visa for India. I don't remember if I've said that or not yet. But I definitely have other videos that talk about trying to get one of those things. And I don't have one. I still have a Chinese visa that is incredibly strong. And my US passport that is overall incredibly strong and includes many countries, many nations on earth where it's visa-free travel. And I'm certainly grateful for that, because there are many passports on earth that are not as good. I don't have a passport as good as Japan or Singapore, but I do have a passport that's better than pretty much every other country's. Anyway, I think I've taken the e-visa rejections from India pretty hard. And I think one reason is because I'm contrasting that with the rest of my journey and seeing the rest of my journey as something that's been a cakewalk without any forces standing in my way. Like every door is open without effort. But that's not really what it's been like, because I've been traveling in Asia for this entire year. I've been to 7 different countries this year. And it started out with renting a place in the Philippines that I never got to, because the person claimed that it wasn't actually available. And so that changed my behavior, is that now I always ask. I always message the person to see if it's okay to book their spot. And then Airbnb will give you a message like, it's okay, you don't have to message the person, you can just book, right? And it's like, well, that's not exactly true. Because my first situation this year, I thought I was going to be staying in a place in Legazpi, in Luzon, like way at the edge of Luzon, where it's almost Visayas. And I've never been there. I didn't go there. It wasn't a cakewalk. It was something that seemed totally derailing at the time. So much that I ended up renting 2 different places at the same time in case that would happen again. And it cost a lot of money, relatively. Still not like American rent or anything like that. But in the Philippines, in the context of how much rent I paid per month, it was a lot to get 2 places at once. Then, after that, when I tried to go to Taiwan, I just wanted to go to Taiwan for 2 weeks. And I couldn't find an Airbnb or place to stay without splitting it between 2 locations. And I applied for one place, and the person said, this doesn't suit you, you're going to stay here too long, and this location is, it was like one of the 2 locations. This location is just meant for people who are stopping through 1 or 2 nights. That's it. You can't have people staying longer than that. It's just not the right place for that. And I was stressing out a lot because I didn't think that waiting was a good idea. I didn't think that waiting longer to book a place was a good idea because I thought it would just be more expensive and less places available. So then I waited a really long time, and I think it was like a week or a week and a half before I actually went there, perhaps, that a new place opened. I only had to go to one place. It was cheaper. And it was a place above a Buddhist shrine. It was awesome overall. It was so cool. That's where I woke up in the earthquake in early April of 2024. This video maybe is released a little bit after that. But these things really stress me out. But they should be stressing me out, right? Because these are like the problems that I have to solve for myself. And for a long time, I didn't solve these problems for myself. I have been thinking about a situation in the past where in my early 20s, I had a girlfriend and we lived together. And I was very agreeable. I think I still am. I was very agreeable. So that relationship started with the girl, with the woman. She was 25 at the time. I was 22 at the beginning of it. She had interests in like doing stuff, and therefore could make plans easily, and it was easy for me to go along with it. But after a while, and I think that's how a relationship could start. If someone is really agreeable, they'll go along with somebody else's trip, no problem. And I don't necessarily mean a trip that you take on airplanes and trains and cars and everything. Cars for sure. But after a while, it was like, she was kind of frustrated that she always did all the planning. And there were certain things where, like just going out to eat or something, she would ask for my opinion on something, and I didn't have one because I was already in the groove of being Enneagram 9, if you know what that is, being extremely agreeable, a yes man in a relationship, because for whatever reason I was down for that experience in that relationship, like plainly. But then she became frustrated that I wouldn't make any decisions, or I wouldn't have my own opinion like that. My life was not built on having my own opinion. And I would say, you know, from when I was small, I was trained in some sense with some relationships to just be agreeable. Because if you have an idea, the other person is going to strike you down, and they're much older and more powerful than you are. And sometimes it can take decades to flip the script on that one. But now, I have, in this year, made more of my own decisions than ever, and I have to. But I'm stressing out here because I feel like I'm scared to let others make decisions for me. 2024 is an election year, a presidential election year in the United States. There's a lot of opportunities to give up your own decision-making process to political leaders that will drag you through the mud, or drag you through the quicksand, or drag you through a lot of stuff, I think, to give up your decision-making process to them. So that's one reason I'm scared of that. There's also individuals who will use you and take you down the wrong path, and they don't even know if they're on the right path or not. They're confident out of a defense mechanism or something, personality disorder or something. but this year I just made a lot of decisions for myself, and I've been thinking now about how maybe I'm particularly bummed about India because I actually gave up on that one for now. I'm actually withdrawing and retreating, and I have other ideas about what I'm going to do, and I do have a plan now. It's taken a while to form, but I'm emotionally taken aback by not being able to get into a specific country. Boo-hoo-hoo, American with the 7th overall ranked passport and the ability to fly around the world at will to an extent. Woe is me, right? But I think, I think about the amount of sacrifices that I've made to even be able to get in this position in the first place, where I can make decisions about where to go. And I think maybe up until this point, I was really like, I feel like I'm dating cities, or I'm finding cities in the world, and it's like really important that they have a lot of cool stuff in my experience of what's cool, and that they are affordable for me, and I can afford to live there and also save a little bit of money so that my life can get better financially, so that my life can get better overall, maybe in ways it never has before. But I think there's like a transition here where it's like, maybe I'm finally not just thinking about the cities, because there's so many cities I like. I'm in Chiang Mai, Prateathai, in Thailand right now, and I love the city. I did a little force ranking of my favorite cities, and this is like number 2, maybe, out of all the cities I've been in. So there's a number of cities I really like, and a number of them are actually affordable for me at this time. But that decision making, it's like maybe I just am missing some kind of genius, rational process in my head that can force rank all these places and like let me know exactly where I'm going and exactly what I want to do. It's coming slowly. And maybe what I want is some grand epiphany where it's just like a whole cloth, maybe whole cloth isn't the right word because it refers to lies, but some whole vision, and then go, that's where I want to be. I think in India, not being able to go there right now set me back. Because I'm thinking of alternative routes to get there, where I could go in the meantime, what I could do to be able to stay there longer. Because in my naive mind, I was thinking I could go there and just stay like 3 months. Yeah, and I think when you build a vision in your head for long enough, even if you just like rationally find out that it can't happen that way, practically find out that it can't happen that way, but then also have a backup plan and go like, actually that's a pretty good backup plan. Actually, there's a couple of plans like that I put together where I could go across the world, and they're all awesome. But where's the passion and the vision that's going to make me go to one place or another? One reason I think I'm waiting on that is maybe because I assume I had that before. And I did when I first started started this, and I really did have that specifically for the Philippines. So I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to drink my Chang beer. My first Chang beer I drank was in China after I bought a plane ticket to Chiang Mai, to Chiang Mai, to Thailand. And as I drink and think and try to find out where to go next, at this time it does seem like it will be once again the Philippines, because that was a vision in my mind that was great, and a passion that moved through me, that made me leave a situation that was not great. And since that time, I've had a new life. I'm flooded with memories day by day. I think when I used to be flooded with memories in my earlier life, I was flooded with memories of the United States for decades back. But now when I'm flooded with memories, I'm flooded with the memories of this year and all the places I've been, because this year is a year that I've lived like no other. And it started with Manila.